Aspirants, I'm Indumati from Inkar IAS Academy. Today we are going to discuss about the 10th January current affairs. The topic taken from the Delhi edition. The topic is Right of Person with Disabilities Act 2016, simply called as RPD Act. This topic comes under our main GS1 social empowerment. This topic, why it is in the news. The case of Rajiv Rathuri versus Union of India is a landmark judgment concerning the right of person with a disability act 2016. This case mainly focused on the ensuring accessibility of for the person with a disability in public spaces and also and also the infrastructure in India, that reaffirming the obligation of the government to fulfill the commitment under the act, the United Nations Convention on the Right of Person with Disability to be, which is India is a signatory. And also there is a background, that is the Supreme Court seeking a direction to ensure the barrier free access in the public buildings and also the transportation system for the person with the disabilities. He argued that despite legal provision that accessibility remained a significant challenge in India for violating the fundamental rights, Article 14, Article 19 and also the Article 21 of the Indian Constitution. Indian Constitution provides the right for the people. The key grievance included, first of all, there is a lack of accessibility in the government and public building and non-compliance with the norms related to the ramps, lifts and also the tactile pathways, and also there is an inadequate transport facility for the person with the disabilities. There is a legal framework for this right of person with disability act according to according to the article section 40 according to the article section 40 that mandates the government to take steps for making the public infrastructure, transport system and information and communication technology is accessible. And section 44 requires the time bound implementation of the accessibility standard. And also we have the constitutional framework. According to that, article 14 will give the right to equality. There is no any discrimination based on the disability. And also we can provide the article 19 1 of G that gives the right to practice any profession or trade. And article 21 will provide the right to life with a dignity. They can conduct the life with a dignified. The key issue was the inadequate accessibility in the public building despite of the act of the RPWD Act, and also there is a lack of comprehensive and also time-bound action plans for the ensuring compliance with the accessibility standards. There is a court judgment that is mainly the mandatory with the compliance and also accessibility standard. There is a court direct both the central and state government to ensure the full compliance with the accessibility norm for the building and also spaces for the RPWD Act 2016. And also we need to take the time bound action plans that authorities will instructed to prepare the time bound action plan to achieve the accessibility in the time phased manner, specifying that. And also there is a new public building must add to accessibility norms immediately, and also need the existing building must be to become accessible with the stipulated time frames. And also we have the transportation, that digital accessibility. The judgment also emphasized the ensuring the transport system, that is such as houses and also the railways such as buses and railways and digital services including the websites are made accessible, and also they can give the digital accessibility like this way. And also we have the monitoring and enrollment is enforcement is necessary, that is a regular monitoring to progress with the mandated. And also the court held the non-compliance could lead to a contempt of court of action. So the Supreme Court of India provide this judgment against the person with the disability act. And also there is a many significance, that is the enforcement of the disability right, that is a main significance. The judgment reinforce the binding nature of the accessibility obligation and also the person's dignity under the RPWD Act. And also they can provide the accountability and for the public authorities. The court that held a public authority is accountable for ensuring the inclusive infrastructure and also setting the precedent for future action for Disability Act, and also providing the progressive realization of rights. That is a while allowed, there is a implementation of the court emphasize the need of the systematic and also sustained effort to create an inclusive society. There is a many impact, that is increased focus on the accessibility, and also the government project for the urban planning, and also there is a mandatory tone and also the discretionary tone. First of all, the mandatory tone. The legal language indicates obligation must be followed. Words like shall, must, require typically convey a mandatory directory. For example, the sections 3 of the Act, that is appropriate government and the local authority shall ensure the person with a disability enjoy the right to equality, life with dignity, and also respect for the integrity, equality, and also with the other people also. And also there is a provision uses the word shall, which impose a legal duty on the government to ensure the equality and dignity of the person with disability. And also there is an implication of the mandatory tone when a provision mandatory failure to comply with the legal consequences. So this is a main penalties and remedial action can be taken by the legally. And also there is a section of the 26, that is discretionary in tone, that is allows a flexibility of choice using with the may or can, implying that action is optional. So the section 26 of the Act, that appropriate government may take measure to promote the facilitate the personal mobility of the person disability of at an affordable cost. This is a may, that gives that there is a provision is a discretionary tone. Do not impose a strict legal obligation, then the non-action may not lead to the direct legal consequences. It should result in public criticism, and also there is a lack of progress in the Disability Act. This is the main mandatory tone and discretionary provision. That mandatory, it creates the enforcement, and also that it will make the people accountable. For example, accessibility required for the public buildings. For the discretionary provision, there is a flexibility in implementation, often depending on the resource availability, and also there is a policy decision. So this is a not giving any proper idea for this act. So this is the main implication of this mandatory and discretionary provisions. We need to comply with the social audit. There is a refers authoring the process, standard, guidelines, and establish the conducting social audit. A social audit is a participatory evaluation process where the performance, spending, the impact of life programs or policies are assessed in a transparent manner that's typically involving stakeholder like beneficiaries, civil society, organization, and also there is an independent evaluator. In the context, first of all, there is a key components that for the social audit. First of all, there is a legal framework, that is many laws and regulations require mandatory social audit for governing the system, the governing schemes, and also the welfare programs like Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee. That social audit is a statutory requirement, and also there is a stakeholders involvement, that is a compliance require engaging relevant stakeholders, that is a beneficiary of the program of service, and also local community representative, and also there is a government and non-governmental organization. There is a process on procedure is the third thing, that is a preparation, that publicizing the audit process and making the relevant record available for the inspection. And also we have the verification process, public hearings, and also reporting. These are the process and procedure is required, and also there is a transparency and accountability is very much important for the good governance for the social audit. There is a discrepancy of issues identified that must be addressed with a clear action plan that should be very much transparent manner, and also there is a corrective measures, that is addressing deficiencies or malpractices that cover the audit is a core compliance requirement. Authority must respond to audit recommendation and also initiate the disciplinary and also legal action is necessary. There is a many much more benefits of this compliance with social audit. That is, first of all, there is an increased transparency that enhance the public grievance and also public trust, and also there is a better resource mobilization. It will identify the inefficiencies and also misuse of funds, and also there is a accountability and also community empowerment. There is a many challenges behind this. First of all, there is a lack of awareness is one of the challenge. There is a awareness is less with the people, and also there is a resistance from the authorities for the records or implement charges, and also there is a resource constraints. Actually, we are a very big economy, so there is a inadequate funds and a manpower to conduct through audits is little bit constrained, and also there is a many legal provision for the social audit compliance. That is a mainly MGN rega, that is a section 17 makes it mandatory conduct the social audit for the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, and for the right of person with disability act encourage the audit to ensure the compliance with the accessibility and also the non-discrimination standard. These are the main criteria that compliance with the social audit framework that ensures a robust governance, promotes the equitable service delivery, and also uphold the democratic accountability in order to welfare initiatives. So these are the main important discussion today in the editorial. Thank you so much.